Hello and welcome to another video of mine. So before I get into it, I am doing a giveaway. So if you haven't viewed one of my, this is the first video that you viewed of mine, then please check out my prior videos. I have a giveaway for just reaching 500 subs. And if I get 600 subs, I will give away a gram of gold. Now in today's video, I'm going slightly off the beaten track and I'm going to talk about a topic that may or may not help some people. Essentially, I want to talk about how I'm going to survive financially during this pandemic. Now, like a lot of you, or like a lot of people, I don't know what my viewers' personal situation is concerning debt. I actually took out a lot of debt to fund my business, and that was fine. Before the pandemic, I was paying it each month, and some months I had a fair amount of surplus, and I reinvested it. And other months I just made what I needed to cover my outgoings. And when the pandemic hit, thankfully I'd got a job, but if I work 6 nights a week at my job, I still don't hit my payments of what I need, which causes a bit of a dilemma because I can't really sell that much. I shouldn't be selling at all. I've been doing the odd post run, but I shouldn't be doing it because my mother is in lockdown and she's going stir crazy. Now, this led me with some options. It's like I can either run my reserves down, my cash reserves, which it's not great. Liquidity is the lifeblood of any business. I often hear, I often see people on Facebook say, "Oh, these big companies making all these profits, how are they getting a bailout from the government?" And people fundamentally don't understand, some people don't, they fundamentally don't understand how business works. It's just cash flow. It's like blood. You can have 8 litres of blood, but if it stops pumping around your body, you're going to die. And it's the same for a business. It really is. You need to get that money moving. Money needs to come in and money needs to go out. That is what it is. So I looked at it and thought, I can't afford to run my reserves down because if the pandemic lasts, I'm going to come to a point where I can't afford to run my reserves down. It will be death by 1,000 cuts. And I was like, this leaves me with a bit of a dilemma. So what I did was I actually phoned up some of my credit sources and I just said, I can't afford to pay you. I was like, but what I can do is if you allow me to forego this for maybe 3 months or 6 months, I opted for 6 months. I tried for 6 months. I still don't have a confirmation of how long it is. I just know they haven't taken payments yet. I think they've been super busy, to be frank. But if you allow me to do this, I will have the cash flow to pay down my other credit sources, up the payment in 3 to 6 months, and pay you back. And then that way, everyone wins. Everyone gets paid. Everyone's fine. Now, if you don't allow me, it's going to get very painful. I'm going to be bankrupt before 30 at some point. I don't think I could last another 6 months doing it the way I was doing it. I needed the cash flow. I would have had to sell down my reserves and eventually I wouldn't have had enough to pay them if it lasted long enough. But I said to him, I was like, I'm not going to leave you without a solution. Let me pay down my other credit lines. Give me 6 months. I'll return and I'll pay you guys off. Now, I did say to them, I was like, if you don't allow me to do this, everyone's going to lose. Everyone will lose out. I will lose out. You're going to lose out. Your investors will lose out. Your bottom line's going to hurt, and it's going to create a domino effect because there's going to be many people in this situation. It seems that they agreed with me. I told them that it would be death by 1,000 cuts if they didn't do it. Now, a lot of people don't realise that if you're really struggling with finances, you're actually in a position of strength rather than a position of weakness. If you can't pay someone, it's best for them to either rearrange are to freeze than it is for them, or is for you to go out of business or to go bankrupt, because they'll get pennies on the pound. If you rearrange it, they're going to get their money back, you know. But you're more than welcome to make arrangements like this with credit lines. I looked at many of the credit sources I have, so I took out multiple credit sources, and a lot of them they're being overly generous. Like, we know you're in trouble, we're not going to charge you any late payments or anything like that. I'm going to take advantage of every single one of them, and what I will do is I will take down each credit line one by one, and then by the time the payment freeze has ended, I'll be able to tackle that one. You know, by doing this, I'm really fortunate in the sense that I've got a lot of money parked in my stamp business. It's just cash, but we can no longer do anything with it because it was lined up for a gentleman abroad and we had to cancel the trip. But that means I can now wipe out the credit lines, remove any of the interest I was paying, move on to the next one, and then put the money back into the stamp business when we can go and pick the stock up, which I personally think will be 6 months. So yeah, it's probably more information than I need to share. You know, I've wanted to build a channel based on transparency. You know, I wanted to build a channel based on, well, part vlog, part how I do things, how I make money, how it works for me. You know, when I built my business, or when I started my business, I knew that I didn't see it in my mind as, oh, I'm making profit. I saw it in my mind as, oh, I'm getting more equity each month in my stack. And that's pretty much how it went until I went to Australia, and then I started another business and different things happened in my life. But I've been more than happy with the decisions that I made, even if it did give me maybe 3 days of stress before logical Sean kicked in and thought, you know what, I'm going to rearrange because that's what rich people do. You know, not a problem. So I hope you find this video slightly useful. If you do like it, then smash the like button. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, do the usual. Don't forget that I do have a giveaway going on, so if you want to be part of that, you're more than welcome to. All you have to do is watch the video, like, subscribe, and comment what your preference would be. And if I do get to 600 by the end of this month, so I believe there's 30 days in April, yes there is, I will give away a gram of gold. I'll be giving away one of these if I get to 600. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the content and stay safe. Bye.